For over 35 years, the Final Fantasy RPG series has captured our hearts, souls, and minds. Currently at this moment, Final Fantasy XIV has over 48.9 million players. My name is Mike, and I am out to get to know your favorite Final Fantasy XIV creators. Welcome to Dungeon Run. What is going on, everybody? It is Mike, and we are back. We are back with Dungeon Run. If y'all have been following me on my channel for a while, you know we attempted this in 2022, but some IRL stuff happened, and we kind of fell off the side. But we're back, and tonight we have one of my favorite Final Fantasy XIV content creators to kick off the reboot, Alwayslawlzing. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. My name is Alwayslawlzing. I am a full-time variety caster on a majority Twitch. Play mostly RPGs, but do like, you know, co-op survivals and obviously MMOs. I have two dogs, which one, I don't know if you can see.
I can see I can see the tail.
Yeah, she is right next to me. But yeah, I started streaming like 3 years ago and haven't really stopped, and it's been a nice adjustment to the corporate life that I'm used to, even though I'm disabled. But you know, we're here, we're vibing, we're just taking it day by day.
So like, is this your third year right now, or are you going into your fourth year? Because my fourth year will start in May. Like, I've also been doing this for about roughly 3 years.
Going into, oh gosh, that's a good question. I think going into my fourth year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think going into my fourth year.
I'm the same. I started in May of 2020, May 18th.
Okay.
Because yeah, pandemic, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people started.
I was gonna say, I think I started May 2020.
No, I'm pretty sure a lot of people started over the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, it was a rough time, definitely. So.
Yeah.
But we are here. We're enjoying Final Fantasy XIV, and you've chosen a dungeon for us tonight, which is fantastic. I'm excited.
I have one of my favorites, I think.
I guess we should actually party up for this to work, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's probably a good point. Instead of just standing right next to each other, just assuming that we're gonna be in the same. Cora, I see you. Hi. I
was gonna say, yeah, I guess we should do that. It's been a while.
It has, yeah. I haven't run this in a while.
So yeah, no, like before we went live, like I was telling you, you said Tower of Babil, and I instantly thought of Tower of Zot, and I'm like, wait, no, that's definitely not the.
The Tower of Zot, I believe, is the Magus
sisters.
The
Tower of Zot is the Magus sisters.
Yeah, so I mean, you were thinking along the same lines.
I was in the right expansion.
Yeah, you're in the right expansion and like the right theme.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember Tower of Babil by any chance?
Tower of Babil is where we fight Anima, right?
Wait, say that again?
Babil is Anima, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, again, like, well, the Magus sisters, like, they pop up in a lot of Final Fantasies.
It's true.
Anima only pops up in 10.
Yeah, just 10.
But 10. Like, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, you are the party leader, so let us.
That is true.
Let us begin.
I almost chose the Tower of Zot.
That is totally my bad.
I almost did. I almost did. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's not what I chose.
That would 100% be my bad.
No, it's okay. As I give attention to my dog, she will not leave me alone right now.
So, do you main tank? Is tank like your primary, like what you play the most, or?
No, I actually main Black Mage, but
nice.
Because my FC and I want to do Savages. I wouldn't say Black Mage is impossible to play in a Savage raid, but it's preferred to work better like team wise as a tank.
I feel like casting in like Savages is just hard in general.
It is, especially when you have to just stay in one spot. Like, that's the most difficult part unless you master slide casting.
Yeah.
Which I 100% have not done. 100% have not done at all. But it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of preferred.
Yeah.
And like, there are casters out there that absolutely can manage savages, you know, as a caster, but you would have to, like, I guess the strategy completely changes when you have a caster in your party like that, where they have to stay in one spot unless they've mastered that. So I was like, I'll just be a tank. I'll just be a tank. It's fine.
I dabble, like, I haven't really done a lot of tanking in, like, dungeons. It's mostly just DPS. Because I'm just, in my opinion, tanks, like, people are always like, oh yeah, healers are super important. They are, but tanks have, like, you gotta lead us through this place.
Yeah,
with the tank,
you
like,
are very heavily relied on, which I was unprepared for.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my first MMO ever.
Oh, is it?
Like, yeah, so this is my first MMO, and I went with Black Mage because I don't know, I always favor Black Mages in any Final Fantasy. But when I switched to tank and I started learning Dark Knight, the amount of people that will wait for you and be like, okay, it's your move, like, how are we gonna, like, you control the pacing,
Yeah.
you control everything, and you're just like, oh, well, crap, like, I gotta know my stuff, and if I don't, that's gonna be unfortunate. Like, you're gonna lead everyone astray.
Yeah.
And like, if you pull too big and the healer can't handle it, or like, I mean, I've been in dungeons where it's not that the healer can't handle it.
It's the tank pulls way too big.
Yeah, like it's like, I'm trying to think. There's quite a few dungeons or anything that has like poison, and you get hit with poison or like heavy, or, I mean, there's so many different debuffs that you can get hit with that like a healer cannot keep up with. It's impossible. So like, it really falls on the tank to really lead that, and pacing and everything else. Like, you're setting the standard, which I was unprepared for until I started playing tank.
So you said this is your first MMO. Is it obviously it's probably not your first entry into the Final Fantasy series, since you said you do prefer the Black Mage?
Oh, yeah, no, it is not my first entry into Final Fantasy. Far from it, unfortunately. This is the last installment that I got around to playing, other than, I think the only other one I have not played is 11, which is another MMO. But, like, out of all the Final Fantasies, yeah, 11 I have not played, I think is the only one.
I'm the same, 11. I didn't have the means to play 11 when it came out.
Same. So. I did not either. Yeah, I had a PC, but like, it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't the best, because around that time, I mean, even now, you don't have to have the perfect setup or anything like that, but my mom was like, I'm not paying for a subscription for you.
Well, you see,
like, that's ridiculous.
That's the thing. Subscriptions at the time were kind of like new, like not like entirely new, but it was definitely like a new thing.
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to remember if World of Warcraft came up before or after Final Fantasy 11. I'm gonna get caught by that. Yes, I am.
I think WoW's been around for like 15 years.
I think so too.
Right?
I think so too.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I'm pretty,
crap, I can't remember how this
well,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, opposite, there we go. Yeah, WoW's been around, I feel like, far longer than most MMOs.
Yeah.
From what I can remember. So it probably was around by the time, like, it probably was already kind of established. By the time 11 came out, I feel like. But I could be wrong. Time is weird.
Definitely. Definitely, because like you think like something came out like a couple years ago, and it's like, no, that's actually been like
been like 10
10
years. And you're like, what? Oh no. I haven't played this one in a very long time. I'm very surprised.
So what's your
I'm
favorite Final
remembering
Fantasy?
Anything. My favorite Final Fantasy? Oh.
Okay, sir, I definitely was out of the way on that one.
Oh, I think he like does a circle. I can't remember though. Yeah, somewhat. Kind of.
Barnabas, I'm gonna need you to stop.
Final Fantasy? I don't think I have ones that I don't like, but a lot of them I truly do love. Especially like
opposite close, right? Yes.
Opposite, yeah. There we go. Oh. Went a little too early there. I have a lot of I would say 6 through 10 solid.
Oh my
like
gosh, yes.
Just phenomenal, solid. That's gonna push us out if you have a plus. I probably I could replay over and over and over again and never get sick of. And then I have like I guess controversial opinions about some of the Final Fantasies I don't like.
Okay.
But for the most part, like 6 through 10, I think are gonna be my top.
That's fair.
If anything, yeah.
My favorite will always be 8. I loved 8.
Oh, 8 was so good.
8 gets a lot of flack now. Like, we got a lot of flack back then, but now people are like, oh my god, I love 8. I'm like,
since when?
Why? It's like 8's always been good. Junctioning was always amazing.
I think that I've begun to see, especially with Final Fantasy VII Remake sweeping as it has. I do genuinely feel like people are going back to those classics and being like, huh, maybe I was too hard.
Yeah,
or like
definitely.
Maybe we're like seeing a pattern. Because what I thought was that Square Enix, or back in those days, Squaresoft.
You'd be surprised how many people do not remember that they used to be Squaresoft.
I have, the only reason I remember it is because I have older Final Fantasies, like on disc. But I think Final Fantasy, like every other, or starts like really start experimenting with battle mechanics.
Definitely.
Starting with like 8, or even 6 a little bit as well. But like they were experimenting with different types of battle mechanics, and like I will say, and I have been pretty open about it, is that there are some Final Fantasies that the battle mechanics are awful. They're awful, but like for the most part, 8 was fantastic. I love 10, but I hate 10 too. So you're gonna die.
I thought I was, but he died first.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
It's always the best when they die first.
No, 10-2 was awful in my opinion. But I love 10.
I enjoyed certain things that 10-2 did, but I fully understand that story and like the Charlie's Angel-esque theme to it. It's not for me. But I think the dress spheres were a really cool way of like re-implementing like the job system. It could have been handled a little bit better, but like as a whole, like, because job class changes are like as old as Final Fantasy for the most part.
Yes, that is true. Or at least like everyone has their class basically.
So I think they did that, but I think as a whole, I agree. Like 10-2 it's not the best. For the first sequel, they definitely could have done a lot of things different.
Yeah, and like that is, I mean, like as much as I absolutely love Vincent Valentine, Dirge of Cerberus, it was not great either when it came to like.
It seems like with sequels, they have like this issue of they want to change so much about it and then it just doesn't work. Like,
yeah, where it's
Cerberus
like,
is definitely the example.
I think that they see success in like some of the, you know, OGs, and they're like, oh, but like, what if we take the success of that, extend the story, but like slip in something different? Which is like, which again, totally fine, but there are there are ways to do that, and like, I really enjoyed 15. 15 was great story-wise, even though I know there was a lot of plot holes.
Oh yeah.
And like, there are things that they did that I don't really approve of when it comes to Square Enix, like the Crunchyroll episodes that they did that they released.
With the anime, like,
yeah, the
kind of,
anime
like,
of the
had to, like,
backstories of all the characters or
kind
whatever.
of know.
And then like, what else was? Oh, the like the DLCs that came afterwards.
Yeah, and then we didn't even get the last like couple DLCs.
Yeah,
Also,
and like they didn't release all of it, and like I felt that they did a really good job when it comes to experimenting different battle mechanics. But I also felt like 15's battle mechanics were really lazy.
Yes.
Like, story was great. I know there was plot holes. It happens, and that's okay. Like, nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
But the when I had to hold X the entire time I was fighting, I was like, this kind of sucks.
I feel like with 15 they wanted to make it simple to try to bring like new face to the franchise, but
Yeah.
I feel like they made it too simple. And I definitely feel like that turned away a lot of like the hardcore fans of the series.
It did, and like that's the other thing is like I think that most people can agree that gamers are never satisfied. Oh, purple.
Yeah, this is.
I remember this.
Yeah, small toad.
Yeah, small and then toad. Yeah. I truly believe that us gamers can never be satisfied, which is a
100%.
total problem. Like, there is no such thing as perfect. You know, developers are real people too. Like, and first and foremost, gaming is a business, and we gotta treat it as such.
It's true.
Whether it strays into corporations or not. But, there are some things that like the battle mechanic was just so lazy, and like I totally understand that we're trying to bring in a whole new generation of gamers and a whole new generation of Final Fantasy fans, that I don't really mind that 15 was what it was.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, even now, after all the talks and like after all of the information that is out for Final Fantasy, people still think that you have to start at Final Fantasy 1 to like play the series, when that's not accurate at all.
Oh, I didn't get caught by that.
Oh,
I should have.
not.
I should have, but I didn't.
Oh. I am still a frog. I probably shouldn't be. There we go. I just realized that.
I 100% should have gotten caught by that, but I definitely did not, and I'm not against it.
You're like, I'm not even gonna question it.
I'm not gonna question it. I get caught by things all the time that I shouldn't, but hey, I definitely should have got caught by that. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I think Final Fantasy as a whole, though, fantastic. Just fantastic. Like,
100%.
I was a kid when I played the original Final Fantasy, like, on the Super Nintendo. It was my first RPG, and I have not let go of Final Fantasy since, honestly. I just feel like it's a part of who I am now, especially as a content creator.
Oh, he's dead. I was like, oh dear God, why did I get big again?
You're
I was
like, why am I large?
No. No, I agree. I'm the same way. Like, I didn't get. I'm older than I look, like a lot older than I look.
Fair.
So, but I didn't get into the series like really hardcore until 7. I was like, I doubt. I played a little bit of RPGs, but like, as a kid, they're not like really your thing. I find like when you're like a young kid, because I was a young kid when the Super Nintendo was like a thing. And but then 7 came out, and we got a PlayStation like probably about the year after it came out, and I sat and I played it. I was like, oh my god, this game is like fantastic. And then 8 came out, and I was like, this game is really good too. And that's when I started going back and is somebody still short?
I think so.
Oh.
Yep, there it is.
Oh. That's amazing. I didn't know it stayed after the boss fight was done.
If you didn't hit the square, I think that's why.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I definitely agree. Like this whole series, like I've gone back and I've played all of them, and eventually I want to do a 4 white mages run of Final Fantasy 1 because I just hate myself apparently.
Oh, that is, yeah, that would be.
Because I just hate myself apparently, but
that would
like
be terrible.
it's
but
kind of like
I'd be curious.
It's
on
kind
how
of
that
like
goes.
a crazy like how much this series like I always attribute like a lot of my life, my personality to like Pokemon. I'm a huge Pokemon gamer.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. Pokemon has quite honestly saved like my life like growing up. So, but like I also Final Fantasy is like right up there. Like everything about this game, just like once I started like getting into like once I got older and I had a better appreciation for games, I think this entire series just captivated me. Like I like Pokemon for different reasons. I obviously have like a personal connection to Pokemon, but I also have like a different kind of personal connection to Final Fantasy, and it's always awesome. It's been like the coolest thing about being a streamer is meeting other people who have that like same like love for this game series.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's definitely
I can definitely understand that.
It's definitely been like such a huge blessing on my life as well, like meeting so many like great people, not even just before, but even before this, like a lot of my friends I have met through like games like Final Fantasy, like love of like 7 and 8 and 9 doesn't get enough love. It is now
9,
but like,
9 is getting enough love now,
but back in the day, no.
Yeah, no. 8 was really like, a lot of people were like, this is awful, it's so dark and dreary, and then 9 was like this, it was like a emotional roller coaster, and people are like, I don't like this, and it's like, well, why not? I didn't feel like it strayed too far from Final Fantasy's like MO, basically, when it comes to
when I talk to a lot of people about 9, their biggest thing is that they really enjoyed like the sci-fi aspect of like 8 and 7, because 8 and 7 are more like, I wouldn't call them like fantasy, like I wouldn't call them like the stereotypical fantasy like 1 through 6 is. They're more like the sci-fi They're more like the sci-fi fantasy, and a lot of people that I've always talked to about why they like did not like 9 at the start was they didn't like that going back to like that more like still kind of like cool technology, but more like fantasy-esque background, which I think is crazy because they obviously that I would literally tell them you literally need to go back and play like the first 6.
I was gonna say, I was like,
7 and 8 are the oddballs. You need to go play the first 6.
Yeah, like 7 is no 7, yeah, 7, 8, 9. I feel like, I mean, of course they tell their own story and they have their own, you know, plot line and characters, but I mean, it's
right. It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, it is, and like I don't know. I see where people are coming from, but like it just doesn't fit.
No,
like people think it doesn't.
I 100%
it doesn't
agree.
fit, and it's like, but it does though. Because like fantasy could be anything.
It's true.
So, at least in my mind it is. But I'm also an avid book reader in that genre as well. So anything goes when it comes to fantasy.
That's actually an area that I'm surprised this game series hasn't jumped into more. Like the books, like 7 has some books that are like around it, like in the fantasy. There's some of my local chapters, but I'm surprised that's not something that Square has like dived into more, because this is, you could write so many books on this.
Probably because it's not it's not necessarily their like avenue that they want to experiment with. Probably just because at least I wouldn't be shocked, but I think they tell enough of a story throughout their games and like everything else. Ooh. Okay. They do a good job at like telling a story with not as many plot holes, with the exception of a few. But then far away. Yeah. But I don't know. Like they would probably be. I mean, they would probably make a lot of money with manga.
Oh yeah, 100%. I actually found a Final Fantasy 14 manga in my bookstore, and then I never saw it again. I went back to go. Oh, get out of there.
And we run out of the middle. Yeah.
I went to go pick it up again, and it was gone, and I was very sad. It told the story of like, set like the Scions in like a high school setting, which is like really neat to me.
That would be kind of cool,
right? Especially like Alphinaud and Alwayslawlzing. Alwayslawlzing, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Alwayslawlzing is my favorite Scion.
Yes.
Like it was Yashala for the longest time, but I feel like in Stormblood and Shadowbringers and Endwalker, they really fleshed out Alwayslawlzing's character, and it is so good.
Her growth was fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Alphinaud's growth, like it's always weird going back and like sometimes I'll get like the urge to like restart A Realm Reborn and going back and seeing like Alphinaud as like this giant jerk. I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot about that. I
would love to go back and play AR, but I don't think I could do it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't think I could do it. It's too much. It drags too much.
It does. Even with the changes they made to like try to streamline it more, it's still going the wrong way. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. Oh no, I'm good.
No, you should be okay.
Even with the changes they made and some of the stuff they've gotten rid of to like try to streamline it, it's oh no, I'm not okay.
Ooh, I might die. Okay, we're good. We're okay.
I'm not okay. I thought I was okay.
Oh, did you die?
I did. I attribute this to
you did.
I am not as familiar with this dungeon as I should be.
No, it's okay, because the only reason I'm even familiar with it at all is... Uh-oh. Wait, I don't know which one's gonna go first.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, left side, okay. Left side and then right side.
Healer brought me back, and I couldn't get out of the way of the attack fast enough.
Oh, damn.
I make that mistake as a healer all the time. I bring somebody back and they instantly die. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
You have to like get the timing right, especially when you're sitting there like waiting to be rezzed, and then they just do it at the last second because that's the only time they had.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh no, I've made mistakes.
So has this franchise had like a positive effect on your life, like outside of it, like meeting like friends, anything like that?
Yes and no. Well, like, you gotta run out of yeah.
No, I'm
usually
far
go
enough.
To the corners.
I'm far enough, but I just gotta be careful of what his next attack is so I don't get caught by it. Okay, we're good.
Oh, fair. Oh, Tanner. That seems a little basic. I feel like I'm gonna regret saying that.
Like,
maybe not.
Who was I facing? I think it was the Eden Leviathan. Like, they kept like shooting. No. It was which one is it on? In the wrong spot.
I don't know how I guessed that right. Not even gonna lie to you.
It was the one that he shoots his hay, like uses different like attacks from his different hands. He kept using the right hand. I'm like, why is he just using the right hand? I'm gonna regret saying this.
Was it the light and dark one?
Yes. I'm like, why is he just using one hand? I'm like, I'm gonna instantly regret saying this because he immediately switched hands. I'm like, yeah.
Like, and
yeah, I definitely brought that on myself. Literally, I was like, oh my god. I'm like, I can literally just stand here. He's used like the same hand like 3 times in a row, and then he switches. I'm like, yep. Mistakes were made.
Here we are.
Mistakes were made.
Oh, and then far away again. Wait, what was the question? How has this franchise
me, right? Affected you? Like, how has it like made a positive influence on your life?
Oh gosh, I think it a lot of people, or at least people our age, because I'll be 33 this year, and so we're kind of in the same generation, but Final Fantasy as a whole definitely got me through. It definitely got me through a lot. I've talked about it on stream too, where like my family's not perfect. I don't think anybody is,
no,
but mine's
not.
Pretty dysfunctional and terrible. And having my father's mistakes being put on display, and working through that as a kid has definitely helped a lot. Like, playing this game has given me a way to escape.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say that I didn't have other ways to escape. I had my books, but video games, I mean, they really encapsulate you and really just take you to a different place. And like, I don't know, I just feel like it hits different than just like reading your favorite novels and stuff like that. And I maybe that's just me, but and at my age, because I grew up with like a lot of my in real life friends aren't gamers.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that in a way like for instance, Rebirth comes out in like 10 days.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. And like, to have that excitement and be surrounded by people who have that same excitement, or even watching somebody else play your favorite franchise for the first time. Like, I am surrounded by people who definitely uplift and appreciate the same excitement that I have, other than like my in real life friends who don't game, are like, it's just a video game. And it's like, no, it's so much more than that. Like, it's so much more than that. And so like, I feel like Final Fantasy definitely has brought some positivity, but also peace. And it also helps me digest, like, I don't know, different situations and aspects. I mean, like, and I don't want to get political in any way, but, like, 7 is about basically Avalanche being labeled as eco-terrorists, when in reality, we're playing, and I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like, we're playing as those quote unquote eco-terrorists, but it becomes something so much bigger.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
Yeah, and it's like things like that where, I hate to say it, but there are situations in the real world that have definitely been kind of similar in a sense, where it's like there's much more that meets the eye. There's much more going on, and you become much more passionate. And that's how I feel with, a lot of situations that have happened in Final Fantasy that may not be real, but similar to real life events. And it's just helped me grow as a person, healthy, at least in a mental capacity, just because, there's a lot of kids that don't have really terrible things happen to them, or they're going through life and they don't know how to cope. And even though, binging a game for 16 hours might be a little unhealthy sometimes, but it's something, it's still something. It's something to be able to process, and like to see the ups and downs of a character, and like be like, oh, this is the ups and downs of a character that's going through what seems to be like something so awful. And you're like, I can do this. I can live through this. And like you can relate or you get attached to that one favorite character. Final Fantasy 100% has done that for me. And then for that to happen as a kid and then play 14 online on stream and meet the most wonderful people. Like I feel like it reaffirms my love for Final Fantasy as a whole, like as a franchise, because 14, I know there's a lot of toxic communities out there, or there's a lot of communities that really do try to be helpful, and there's like those few bad beans, but like I have never seen collectively such a large community be just so kind like I have with 14.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember my first year playing it. It's actually a memory of mine on Facebook. My first year playing it, I was playing on Independence Day. And I was in Casa del Sol. I don't remember what I was doing there, but there was just this huge group of people, and they were just setting off fireworks and like having a party. And I was like, that is amazing. Like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like,
and
every community has their toxic
bad apples.
Yeah, exactly. Every community does. But I find there's a lot less of them in the 14 community than there is as a whole, like anywhere else.
Yes, I agree, because like and the stark difference that I see, and like I definitely have talked crap about some Final Fantasies that people 100% don't agree with me, and they like, sometimes I poke because I think it's funny. But not in like a terrible way. It's more of like, I really hate 13 and I'll die on that hill type of thing. But like 14, with so many people in one spot, and like you just see like everyone enjoys helping other people. Everybody enjoys watching first timers go through the like, you know, the story for the first time. And like one of like the pillars of my community members, like Rando, I met through 14 because he found me on Twitch, and I was like, I think I was in Heaven's Word, where I just started Heaven's Word. Yeah. And like Rando was like, oh, look at this Sprout, I'm gonna help her. And like he's a pillar of my community as a whole now because of that. And like it's just crazy to me, the kindness that I have seen out of people in 14 in particular. Like when, not to get too dark, but when my mom passed and I was on this game, but I was playing it and I wasn't streaming it, and I mean like a shell of a person. And I had random people like just be exceptionally kind, and I'm like I was AFK for like, I don't know, 4 hours, I think, one day, and some random person, I don't even remember their name, came up to me and was like, hey, like, you've been standing here for a few hours, like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just, like, I want to play, but like I don't want to play at the same time. And I was like, you know, my mom passed, and like I'm not okay. And like their whole FC showed up and like just hung out with me.
That's amazing.
Like just stood there, and like they like, you know, they were chatting with me or whatever in party chat or whatever, or like the in-game chat, but like they all just stood there with me for like 4 hours.
That's amazing.
Because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, or if I wanted to do anything. And it was I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. I don't think I ever will forget that. And like it was, they asked me like, oh, tell me about your mom. Aww. And I was like, my mom loved Final Fantasy as a whole too. Like she used to sit in my room, and that was like our quality time, was that, you know, on my days off of work and stuff, or if she was up when I got home, and like that was my unwinding. Like she would just sit there and like watch me play games. And 15 was one of them. Was like, we were both sobbing about Luna Friend.
Yeah.
Like, like we were just like, oh my god. And like she was there, and like at midnight when Final Fantasy 7 released remake, and like I was sitting there like waiting for it to just finish downloading, and like Final Fantasy has a huge impact on so many aspects of my life. So like to see that in action on 14 too, after my mom had passed, and like I felt like I lost half of my soul, and like I just felt weird playing Final Fantasies without her. And like for them to just sit there, I will never forget that. It was so incredible. And like it just has changed my outlook on gaming, just to be able to be surrounded by people like you who loves Final Fantasy too, and like we can have endless conversations about the franchise or our favorite games, or like I mean it's so nice and refreshing to be around people that are excited of the same things that you have an interest in, or that you're excited about, and not feel bad about.
No, exactly.
That's the great part about it.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me on our first part of the rebooted dungeon run. I'm very excited. It was awesome. You were literally when I finally decided that I wanted to go ahead and do this, you were literally the first person who popped in my head. I'm like, I definitely want to do this with Alwayslawlzing. She is like definitely the first person I want to do this with. So thank you very much for joining me for this. And
of course,
where can we find you? Obviously on Twitch TV, Alwayslawlzing.
Yeah, Twitch. I do have a TikTok, same handle. Twitter, same handle. YouTube, same. Everything is the same handle. Alwayslawlzing. I am bad about posting on TikTok right now, but hopefully I will be. That's my New Year's resolution, to get better at posting on other platforms.
Same, 100%.
Yeah. Like if anyone wants to follow my other handles, please feel free to do so. But Twitch, Wednesday through Saturday.
Alrighty.
6 p.m. PST is where you'll find me.
And you guys, if you're not watching, you are definitely missing some fantastic content, because Alwayslawlzing is doing some amazing Final Fantasy. I've watched you play Baldur's Gate a couple times. I've watched you play Assassin's Creed Mirage. So definitely good games going on over at twitch.tv/Alwayslawlzing. Well, thank you very much, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of this Final Fantasy. Until next time.
Next time.
Have a good night, everybody, and stay safe out there. Bye.